Hello, everyone. We had a great weekend here, or I did, yes. It's cool outside, but it's toasty in here because I did pull my heater out. Yes, it got to the point where I had to say, okay, a little heat won't hurt. Okay, my garden is pretty much took care of. Uh, I still have some okra and some long beans, yes, that are still coming up and out, but most of my plants are in here that need to be in here now because it is getting quite cool out there. Yes. Winter time, fall time, fall. I love fall. I love winter too, and spring and summer. There's good stuff about every season, isn't there? All right, let's get going here in Isaiah, the book of Isaiah 5, the song of the vineyard. Let me sing, my beloved, the song of my friend for his vineyard. Let me sing, my beloved, the song of my friend for his vineyard. So this is to someone in particular. Ooh, was Isaiah married? Is this from Isaiah? We don't know, really. Oh, well. My beloved had a vineyard on a fertile hillside. He dug it clear. Oh, sounds like that's a woman talking. Well, my beloved had a vineyard on a fertile hillside. He dug it, cleared it of stones, and planted it with red grapes. In the middle he built a tower. He hewed a press thereto. He expected it to yield fine grapes. Wild grapes were all it yielded. Yeah, wild grapes are, if they're established and have a chance to get enough water, they can grow big enough that they're edible. But most of them are really tiny and really sour. And now, citizens of Jerusalem and people of Judah, I ask you to judge between me and my vineyard. What more could I have done for my vineyard that I have not done? Why, when I expected it to yield fine grapes, has it yielded wild ones? Very well, I shall tell you what I am going to do to my vineyard. I shall take away its hedge, for it to be grazed on, and knock down its wall, for it to be trampled on. I shall let it go to waste, unpruned, undug, overgrown by brambles and thorn bushes. And I shall command the clouds to rain no rain on it. Good luck with that. Now the vineyard of Yahweh Sabaoth is the house of Israel, and the people of Judah, the plant he cherished. He expected fair judgment, but found injustice, uprightness, but found cries of distress. Well, okay. This is an odd example. I mean, I get it. I know where this is going. But again, why use the principles of creation? I happen to know that with grapes, when you plant the first ones, you're not going to get a whole lot. It takes years for a plant, a grape bush, plant, vine, to produce really good grapes. Have to be established in the ground, have a strong root, yes, a strong trunk, and then branch out, and that takes time, doesn't it? So, when one expects big changes to happen, it takes time. That's why it's called restoration. Yes? Yeah. And what did I start out with? Wild grapes are edible. They can be edible if they have just the right environment as well. So, again, it's all right. It's okay. It's just it bothers me on how in the Old Testament here, on how God is depicted as such a finicky, one way, another way, kind of presence in our lives. As if. I've said this many times before. Also, according to the principle of creation and love, we have free will. We get to choose. When we don't get to choose, when that choice is taken away from us to choose, it's not because of God. It's always because of people around us. People who are stronger, more powerful, and trying to tell us what we need to do and what we can't do. Right? Yes? Isn't that the truth? Does God really have anything to do with that? Just asking. Curses. Well, here we go. Dear Lord. Woe to those who add house to house and join field to field, until there is nowhere left and they are the sole inhabitants of the country. I don't get that at all. What does that mean now? Yahweh Sabaoth has sworn this in my hearing. Many houses will be brought to ruin, great and fine ones left untenanted, which means nobody will be there. Yahweh Sabaoth has sworn this in my hearing. I doubt very much that God does any swearing. And this is kind of like a swear, a curse. Many houses will be brought to ruin, great and fine, ones left untenanted. For 10 acres of vineyard will yield only 1 barrel, and 10 bushel of seed will yield only 1 bushel. Woe to those who get up early to go after strong drink and stay up late at night inflamed with wine. Nothing but harp and lyre, tambourine and pipe, and wine for their drinking bouts. Well, people survived at that time, so there may have been a few of those, but most of them probably were very hard-working people. Just saying. Never a thought for the works of Yahweh, never a glance for what his hands have done. That is why my people is in exile, for want of perception. Oh, then they find excuses for why they are there, in a way, in exile, rather than, okay, well, he's not wrong with. But I don't think it's because of drunks. Her dignitaries starving, her populace parched with thirst. That is why Sheol opens wide its throat and gapes with measureless jaw, and down go her noblemen and populace, and her loud revelers merry to the last. So again here too, before I read on, why are the commoners suddenly in dire straits? Does it really have anything to do with them and how they live? Or is it because decisions are being made where then they have no choice but to follow suit? Just asking. Right? Again, where is the blame laid here exactly? Why don't the people who are in leadership, this and that, decide, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that? Right? Take responsibility for all that. There's also, well, we sure laid one down on our people. Now we're in exile again. And look at yourself a little bit. Now take that mirror and look at yourself. Yes? Most people that are hardworking are too busy to catch up on all the politics and the news and the I don't know what. Yes? So that's why you have governments, don't you? That's why one has leaders. You trust them to do the right thing for the people. Are they? Did they at that time? Are they now? Just saying. So again, who's this? Right? It's either late. It seems like the people in power, right? When things go wrong, when things go good, they take the credit. When things go wrong, they lay it at whose feet? All right. Human nature has been humbled, humankind brought low, and the eyes of the proud have been humbled. You know what? I find even in exile, though, that, the nobles and the kings, or just, if they weren't beheaded and killed, they still lived great. And the eyes of the proud have been humbled. Yahweh Sabaoth is the more respected for his judgment. God, the Holy One, has displayed his holiness by his justice. Now the lambs will graze in their old pastures, and the fields lay waste by fat cattle. Will feed the kids. Okay, it went from this to that. Woe to those, okay, this is curses. Woe to those who drag guilt along by the reins of duplicity. Oh, really? Yeah. Drag along sin as though with a cart rope. To those who say, why doesn't he do his work quickly so that we can see it? Why doesn't the Holy One of Israel's design hurry up and come true so that we can experience it? Woe to those who call what is bad good and what is good bad, who substitute darkness for light and light for darkness, who substitute bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. This is a very common kind of thing to say. I like to hear, okay, what do you mean? What is being substituted for darkness? What is darkness and substituted for light? Woe to those who think themselves wise and believe themselves enlightened. See, this is all kind of just ugh. Woe to those whose might lies in wine bibbing. Here we go again. You know what? I think Isaiah may have had a little too much to drink sometimes himself, or whoever wrote this. They talk a lot about certain things. I'm going, yeah, okay. Their heroism is mixing strong drinks, who acquit the guilty for a bribe and deny justice to the upright. Yes, as the flame devours the stubble, as the straw flares up and disappears, their root will be like decay, and their shoot be carried off like dust, for having rejected the law of Yahweh Sabaoth. Wow, it's a long one. For having despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. I'd like to bring something up that I heard. And again, I don't know, is it just that my mind kind of goes a little bit into the greater field of it all rather than just sticks with the, little bits and parts? I saw in a post where one of our great leaders, and don't get me wrong, I'm good with that, but he said that, oh, I never went, I knew about the island, I never went there. Okay, I'm not naming names, so, and I was invited, but and I know quite a few people who did go, but I never went. I do not approve of that, so he didn't go. Okay. All right. Well, you didn't go to the island because you knew what was going on there then. Because if everything was hunky dory there and it was all according to the law, then why not go if you're invited to go and spend some time with your rich buddies? Yes? Just go and have some fun, get together and have some good talks and maybe talk about the world and its problems and maybe come up with some solutions. So, what was that island really about? So, this man, one of our great leaders out there, knew about the island, knew what was going on there. That's why he didn't want to go. Then why didn't he do something about it? Hmm? Right then and there. Now it's just, oh, I never went. Does that absolve us from the sins committed there? The atrocities that were committed there? That are against the law? Just asking. Doesn't this kind of sound like the same thing? Just saying. Okay, let's keep going. Yahweh's anger. This is why Yahweh's anger has blazed out against his people, and he has raised his hand against them to strike them. God would never do that. Why the mountains have shuddered, and why corpses are lying like dung in the streets. After all this, his anger is not spent. No, his hand is still raised. Natural disasters are going to happen. They're going to keep happening, people, if you like it or not. That can't be controlled. I think that when something strikes like that, things happen for one reason or another. I don't think that's God induced. It's just how nature works. We should by now, with all the scientists out there, this not be a little bit more prepared for certain things, which brings also, again, the dream of Joseph that to mind, where he went and told the Pharaoh, you're going to have 7 lean years, 7 fat years first, and then 7 lean years. Let's prepare for that. Ah, okay. Are you getting my drift here? I think it is more on how what what our heavenly Father is looking for in us is how we're going to deal with things that just are naturally happening. How do we care for each other afterwards? How do we support each other afterwards? I have to say, here in the United States, when disaster strikes, it is the people. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We have organizations in place that are supposed to help, and you know what? Wow, wow, wow is all I have to say to that. Pitiful, pitiful on how they help out. Pitiful how difficult they make life for people after they were struck with a disaster. And they're supposed to step in. Yes, the bureaucratic paper crap that goes on with that, you guys wouldn't believe it. Yes, I've seen it. I didn't need anything, but when we had the big old flood happening in my little county and a county over actually more, and people literally lost everything, you would not believe how difficult it was for them to get just a little tiny bit of help from these organizations. Just saying. It was the people like me, like many other people there, who were not afflicted as badly, that got their stuff together and said, don't need this, don't need that, have that extra, and gave it away. Gave it away. Went to Walmart in that area. Pfft, man, they made it big. They wouldn't even reduce things. They wouldn't, I'm just saying. Okay. And in any case, boy, did they make a killing on all the people that were getting stuff for all the people who lost so much. It went on for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, where stations were set up for people to come, this and that. Places were being built, and I don't know what, for people who lost everything. I was going to give away that extra trailer that we had, little 2-bedroom trailer. And I had many people interested, but guess what? The people that needed, they all needed help to move it, and the movers for stuff like that, they tripled their price. Nobody could afford to move that little trailer. Yes? How sad is that? Yeah, I'm just saying, right? Yes? So, it depends. I believe that these disasters, they just happen. God doesn't make them. It's part of the principles of creation. Keep this world going. Yes? So that it stays habitable. And so God doesn't send disasters this and that because he's angry. It just happened. But what he looks for afterwards, what our heavenly parent looks for, how are you guys dealing with that? How do you help each other out? How do you support each other? Yes? Yeah. That's what I believe. Yahweh summons the invaders. He hoists a signal for a distant nation. He whistles them up from the ends of the earth, and see how swift, how fleet they come. So when everything goes well and they're victorious, then God's on their side and he just slams the enemy. But when he's unhappy with the Israelites, he goes and says, hey, come on now, you guys. Right? You're doing really well, so come on and slam them. What? No. None of them tired, none of them stumbling, none of them asleep or drowsy, none of them with belt on fasten, none of them with belt on fasten, none of them with broken sandal strap. Their arrows are sharpened, their bows all strong, their horses' hoofs you would think were flint, and their wheels a whirlwind. Now, saying this too, what is he doing actually with saying something like this? Oh, well, probably the enemy believes in what? They have their idols, this and that, and here they come strong. Oh, guess what? Their God's stronger right now than ours. We should follow their God. Yeah, see what happens with stuff like this when people say things like that. And then at that time, the commoners probably, how much information did they have? I'm sure they were very knowledgeable in many different things. But when it came to that, who was responsible to give them the right information? The proper one. Yes? So they're going to make up their own mind, say, hey, our God ain't here for us. I'm not sure what happens, but their God seems to be really strong, or their gods. Let's stick with them again. You see? Misrepresentation of our heavenly parent causes what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very sad. Their roar is like that of a lioness. Like fierce young lions, they roar. Growling, they seize their prey and carry it off with no one to prevent it. Growling at it that day, like the growling of the sea, only look at the country, darkness and distress, and a light turned to darkness by the clouds. And that is that. Okay, all right. Oh, well. Talked enough. Gotta go. Why? I don't have much to say otherwise about the world out there because I haven't really looked. Because I don't know what to believe anymore. Yeah, is it all lies? All those things that people have out there, unless they're my friends, and I know them. I said, oh yeah, yeah, love all those posts, yeah, or okay, that's how I stay in contact with my friends. But otherwise, all these people I don't know, all this stuff happening out there, I don't know. Is it true? Is it not true? I'm not going to go and check out every post. I just wish they'd disappear, really, when it comes down to it. I don't want to look at any of them anymore. And that's really sad because there's probably some good ones out there. I'm not going to go and figure out my maze through Facebook or YouTube even to go and find, okay, what's true and what's not. Do you know what I mean? Yes? So, got enough to do here to take care of, and not all that interested to contribute to the mayhem out there that may be happening or not. There. Sticking with the good stuff. That's that. I don't have much else to say. Yeah, I got it. I'm waiting for something, but it's not happening. Guess I'll have to wait. Yes? Yeah, I want to sit here in silence for 5 minutes until it's coming. Two of my daughters and my oldest granddaughter went to a Renaissance fair. Yes, yesterday. They were all dressed up for it, this and that, had a great time. And they were gone from early morning until late in the evening. They must have had a really, really great time doing that. I love it that my children still go out and do things like that. Yes? Well, how many people don't? Yes? Yeah. Uh, Festivals, and I'm talking not these big old. There's a lot of tiny festivals that happen. They're wonderful to go to with all the music, this, that. There's no problems. People don't get trampled or, there's no drug use going on. There's no, it's wonderful little festivals. Yes? Ah, right there again, too. These big old this and that, all the mayhem that comes out of them and what stuff that happens there. So sad. Why do it even? Keep it in a small, just keep it small, Go and enjoy small festivals and if you can, and be still a part out there. So much stuff now is just happening all, yes, exactly, on the internet. That's not reality. It's not life either, is it? And to just take everything that is in the Bible as hands down or yeah is not either because it either because they're words just written down. Yes? And look how they are written down. Not cool, I don't think. Yes? All right, there's some good things in there. Now, don't. As I said, we're finding our way through the maze. And maybe this book also exists. And so people kind of take a step back and say, hey, wait a minute, we're smarter than this. Yes. True Mother, sadly, is still in detention, and that other pastor as well. Still, nothing concrete out there. They haven't been charged with anything. Nothing that they can prove. Just so we'll just have to see what happens next. Yes, I want to keep Mother's words in my mind. Be patient. Just be patient. Keep teaching, but be patient. Yes, that's what we need to do. All right. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, guide you, and embrace you with love. Eldridge, my dearest brother in faith, I love you. Yes, let's keep praying. Hope you're doing all right. And I will talk to you all another time.